In this video, I'm gonna go through the skid behind me and just explain the different parts of it, what they're for, what I like about how I designed this, and parts that I might have changed when I do this again. And hopefully this video will help you be able to make a decision when you're building out or buying a skid for your system. So this skid system is created for a 6-foot bed. I currently have it in a Toyota Tundra. Note there, get a bigger truck. You definitely need a 1-ton, maybe even a 2-ton. I have to roll around with this thing as empty as possible to not overload my truck. But we'll start here in the middle. So what we've got here is we've got 2 100-gallon tanks that are together. That's the water tank. So I've got a total of 200 gallons of capacity for water. And then this back tank right here is 100 gallons, and that one is specifically for SH. On the side, you see these controls. These controls take my water inline to the water fill tank that's there. These two go to a couple auxiliary tanks that I'll show you in a little bit. And then this bottom one here is an on-off for this water spout used for rinsing off equipment or filling up buckets. A note about this is it can only be used when you actually have pressure going into your intake line. This hose right here, all 3 of these hoses are on King's Reel electric hoses. These things save me a ton of time and effort because all you have to do is push this button here and it automatically starts reeling it up for you. And you just got to guide your hose in there so it gets on there all nice and orderly like. This is Flexilla hose. I got 100 feet of Flexilla hose on here. That works out just fine for about 95% of the jobs that I do right now. I do take extra Flexilla hose with me just in case I need to access a water source that's further away. Moving to the next reel, we've got the soft wash reel. This is just red ag hose. Ag hose stands for agricultural hose. This is great hose. It lasts a long time. It's tough and it works really well for this purpose. I've seen a lot of people use Flexilla for it. I actually used to when I built my own, my first rig. And the Flexilla is not great for this. This stuff won't kink up. The Flexilla will fold over itself because it's really soft. So I wouldn't recommend using the Flexilla specifically for your soft wash. It also takes up a lot of extra room because it's thicker. So on the end of this, I've got just a J-rod on here with your standard 4 tips. That's pretty simple. And then I've got a connector here so that I can pull this gun off and put another gun on whenever I need to. My last reel right here, this is my high pressure hose, just your standard high pressure hose. This is 200 feet of hose. Again, this one was 200 feet also. I carry extra hose for high pressure for 2 reasons. One is that every once in a while it'll split and you got to replace it in the field. And the other is if you need longer than 200 feet, it's good to carry at least an extra 50 or 100 feet on you. That'll give you usually the booster that you need. On the end of this hose, I've got a ball valve and I've got everything worked out so that male end is what's visible here. I have a mobile unit where the female end is the connector for everything, and that way I don't get stuff mixed up. So moving around the truck here, on top we have a 24-inch surface cleaner with its own surface cleaning rack here. And then you've got your adjustable ladder rack up here. The adjustable part is fully optional, but it's nice because I can give myself more space down here if I need to, or I can drop it down a little bit. So on the back, what we've got is we've got our Honda GX690 along with our 8-gallon a minute pump here. And this is rigged up. So we've got this is our water inline hose here. This goes to the water tank, and then this goes to a 3rd auxiliary tank that I'll explain in just a minute. But that one is specifically for essentially doing special jobs or winterizing your equipment, which is what it's all pink right now because I've winterized my equipment. Down below here is just a storage shelf. I store buckets and extra hoses and whatnot down there. On this side, we've got our soft wash control unit. And inside here, we've got water, SH, and these are for auxiliary tanks. This unit also has this switch right here, and that's hooked to my third auxiliary tank. Again, this line's all pink because it's got antifreeze in it at the moment, so that stuff won't freeze up. It's chilly out here. And then moving around inside this box, what we've got in here is we've got our battery that powers everything, a 7-gallon a minute Remco pump. This is a great pump, I absolutely love it. We got the Noco Genius in here for recharging the battery, and then this is our on-off switch that controls the roof pump only. This battery is also connected to the pressure washer. Battery is always on, so the pressure washer can start whenever. This has an on-off toggle just because you don't want it to stay on wear your pump out and drain your battery. I also keep a little toolbox in here with small parts. This is good to have O-rings, extra connectors, anything that might break while you're on a job. And then this is what I'm using right now for my downstreaming projects. I've got an M5 twist and then a shooter nozzle on there. Love these guns. They're awesome. All right, and then moving over to the auxiliary tanks. I have 3 auxiliary tanks here. They're all 7 gallons. So this auxiliary tank is what I've got hooked up with my winterizing solution. I can also put in neutralizing solution in there for if you're doing a lot of projects with wood, then you can put your neutralizer in there, run it through your pressure washer, and just do a quick rinse down with a neutralizer in there. This tank I specifically use for soap, and then this tank right now I use a soap scent mix. So these are fully customizable. I can put whatever I want in them, but that's just how I have it set up right now. So a couple things that I would have changed if I knew about them beforehand is specifically in the toolbox battery box on the side. I would have put the battery in its own enclosed housing, and that'll keep liquid off of it. I find that water gets kind of stuck in there sometimes, and that can corrode your battery contacts, and you'll end up having to get in there and clean stuff out and make sure that the battery doesn't get all screwed up for it. The surface cleaner on top, it's really convenient to have that up there, but it does limit ladder rack space. So if your rig is set up in a place where you can put that surface cleaner underneath the ladder rack, that may work better for you. It'll save you a little bit of ladder space, giving you the ability to carry around 3 or 4 ladders instead of just 1 or 2. The ladders I have up there right now are a 16-foot extension, a 28-foot extension, and then a little giant. That really does most of the work that I have to do. Every once in a while I have to switch out ladders, but it's really not that big of an issue. And then the last thing is inside the truck bed. Let me show you this. Sorry for the mess, guys. All right, so this is a mess right now, but inside the truck bed, you'll see that this rack is not actually, I guess, buffered in or bolted down or strapped down anywhere. So if I was getting one of these created again, I would ask them to put some like eye bolts in here to be able to just hook them to your tie downs. Now the way I'm going to get around this is I'm actually just going to create I'm just going to do a loop strap here and then create a hook for my tie downs anyway, and that should help keep this from sliding around. But it does slide around if you don't do that, or you can also put wood or some other material here and on the back side of it so that it doesn't slide back and forth. But these will slide around if you don't secure them inside the truck bed. Definitely something to think about when you're getting these things designed. So that's that simple short video. If you got any questions about skid systems, limitations, issues, if you're trying to design your own and you have questions about what is necessary and what's not necessary, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to help you out with it. And until next time, I'm Brandon Kelly, and see you soon. Bye.